from here. No one can save us from keeping clear. I don't wanna lose you, I don't wanna lose you now. 'Cause there is only one thing on my mind. Hey, 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 I just wanna see you on my new grave. Hey, 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 I just wanna see you on my new grave before you turn around and walk away. Hey, 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 I just wanna see you on my new grave. I can feel my, I can feel my, I can feel my thing. I can feel my, I can feel my, I can feel my, I can feel my thing. I can feel my, I can feel my, I can feel my, I can feel my thing. I can feel my, I can feel my, I can feel my, I can feel my thing. I can feel my, I can feel losing track of time, losing track of myself. I can make promises to get into your head. Hey, 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 I just wanna see you on my new grave. Hey, 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 I just wanna see you on my new grave before you turn around and walk away. Hey, 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 I just wanna see you on my, I just wanna see you. I can feel my, I can feel my, I can feel my thing. I can feel my, I can feel my, I can feel my, I can feel my thing. I can feel my, I can feel my, I can feel my, I can feel my thing. I can feel my, I can feel my, I can feel my, I can feel my thing. I can feel my, I can feel
I'm staring through your window, looking up at the stars, up at the stars. I'm caught inside a loop where I can get to your heart, get to your heart. Ooh, you're letting your fears take hold, let them take control, and it's making me crazy. If you could only look at me, you know how I feel, know how I feel. Oh, see how much I want it, see how bad I need it. You gotta look into my eyes. That's how much I want it, that's how bad I need it. You gotta look into my eyes. Think twice before you let me go. My eyes are mirrors of my soul. See how much I want it, see how bad I need it. You gotta look into my eyes. Look into, look into, look into, look into, look into, look into, look into my eyes. Look into, look into, look into, look into, look into, into my eyes.
Spending time reminiscing. Spending time reminiscing. Spending time reminiscing. Spending time reminiscing. Spending time.
You and me stuck on the ocean now. Nothing but waves and they're spilling in. I wanna dry up, but you just keep on going, don't you? I don't even know how we got here. All my reasoning have disappeared. I wanna bury the hatchet and find the way back to our home, our home, our home. We don't have to drift inside this dome. I will not let us fade away. It's not a price I wanna pay, and it's not too late. No, we lost our purpose, chasing all that surplus. You were all that I need. I feel that we can break free. We can still go back there to a place with no cares. We can turn this ship around. We can turn this ship around all the way back home. Chasing all that we do not care. Chasing all that Yesterday we could be ourselves. Didn't have much, but nevertheless, we were true to each other. But now we don't even bother. I remember you being hopeful, but the tall waves have worn us down, and slowly we are drowning. That's why you need to come with me, with me, with me. Turn around 180 degrees and cross the sea. I will not let us fade away. It's not a price I wanna pay, and it's not too late. No, we lost our purpose, chasing all that surplus. You were all that I need. I feel that we can break free. We can still go back there to a place with no cares. We can turn this ship around. We can turn this ship around all the way back home. Chasing all that we do not have, chasing all that we don't have, chasing all that we do not have, all the way back home. Chasing all that we do not have, chasing all that we don't have, chasing all that we do not have, I always knew we could do so many great things. So believe in me, I believe in you, and I just feel that this will be an upswing. So hear me out. No, we lost our purpose, chasing all that surplus. You were all that I need. I feel that we can break free. We can still go back there to a place with no cares. We can turn this ship around. We can turn this ship around all the way back home. Chasing all that we do not have, chasing all that we don't want, chasing all that we do not have, all the way back home. Chasing all that we want, chasing all that we don't want, chasing all that we do not have, all the way back home.
Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord that I wake again. I wake again. I wake again. I pray the Lord that I. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord that I wake again. I wake again. I wake again. I pray the Lord that I wake. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord that I wake again. I wake again. I wake again. I pray the Lord that I. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord that I wake again. I wake again. I wake again. I pray the Lord that I wake. Pray the Lord that I wake. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord that I wake again. I wake again. I wake again. I pray the Lord that I wake. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord that I wake again. I wake again. I wake again. I pray the Lord that I wake. Pray the Lord that I wake. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord that I wake again. I wake again. I wake again. I pray the Lord that I. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord that I wake again. I wake again. I wake again. I pray the Lord that I. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord that I wake again. I wake again. I wake again. I pray the Lord that now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord that I wake again. I wake again. I pray the Lord that I wake.
Need no laser, 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 need no laser beam.
Drone's Life with a quick new product intro.
Thought I saw a light when you passed me by. The reason why I shine, you're the reason why. I thought I caught your eyes, the love is blind. I thought I saw you smile.
Yeah, the 920.
Yeah.
But
Geek, here comes FPV Geek again.
Yeah, that's me. Apparently.
My wife reckons that Steve is the ultimate FPV geek.
No.
And
Not true.
Have you ever been on the other show that's in the UK, Jamie? Let's Drone Out.
I have. I think I've been on it twice a while ago. They asked me to come on for ladies' night a couple weeks ago, but again, it was like Wednesday at 3:00 my time, and I was like, "Hey, on Wednesdays I'm at work until like 6:30, so that's probably not going to work with my boss. He's probably not going to be like, yeah, Jamie, you can go and like talk to a bunch of your cool UK friends for like an hour, you know,
I think
on the
it's good
clock."
we're not the only people that got stood up then. No, there's a guy on LDO which is Andy RC.
Yes.
And my wife reckons that Steve and Andy, we should have Steve and Andy on the show one week, and we should have a geek off. he can be the FPV
not a
geek.
good idea.
I reckon he did quite well.
You know, I think it would be fun for like a minute, and then I don't know if you've ever seen a real geek off before, but sometimes it can get pretty angry at each other. You get very passionate about the words that you're saying and about the tech that you're talking about. And if one person mentions one feature that may not be quite the same for both of you, especially if somebody has a different version of the item, oh my God, it's going to get wild. So,
will it get as heated as like a walk-off in Zoolander?
Oh, yeah. I think more.
Hold on.
Like the walk-off was all physical. This is going to be a mental game where
one.
they're going to start attacking each other. It's going to be like lasers from the eyes.
Like, no turn left.
Oh, Jab has just joined us, but he's walking.
Oh, game's outside.
I'm literally just coming in, popping in to say hello, and very, very sorry because I completely forgot. So I'm going to nip off before you go on air.
We're already on there.
We are live.
We're already live.
Well, have a good night, all. I'm sorry I won't be there.
That's all right, mate. No worries.
All right, buddy.
It's so dark there.
Yeah.
Must be date night for James.
This house. And look at the quality of this webcam.
Better.
Have a good night, all. I'll see you soon.
There, James.
James. Have a good night.
Anyway, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Droneislife Live. We are joined this evening by our normal teams. We are joined by Kelsey and Malk.
Hi.
We are joined by Stephen.
Hello, how you doing?
We were joined by Jab, but I reckon he's gone to the pub.
Well,
It's Friday night, he's in the pub. And mainly, we are joined this evening by little Stella Fox. Woo!
Hi, guys.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, actually.
I love the hair.
Really good.
The blue hair.
Oh yeah, it's actually, I haven't put any color in it in, here, I'll take my headphones off for a second. But I haven't put any color in it in a month, and this is all faded, and it's still blue. So, it's not doing too bad.
The headset and the ears.
Oh my God. Are you a cat person or not?
Well, I'm a fox.
Okay.
I've had these headphones for a really long time. And then when the blue hair happened, a bunch of people that remembered the earphones, like the earphones. They were like,
Yeah.
Jamie, do you still have the earphones? And I was just like, I do. And they're like, so why are you not wearing those when you're streaming with the blue hair? It, like, adds to the whole thing. And I was just like, you're totally right. Like, I've got my fancy AirPods that I normally use because they're comfortable and cancel out sound. But I should probably wear my big clunky earphones instead because they have ears.
I don't get why everybody's wearing headphones. I mean, Malk and Kelsey, I don't use any headphones. I don't have any problems.
Well, I always, every time I stream without headphones, there's always a crazy echo. So I do the headphones. Not only that, but my daughter is watching TV right in the next room, and I have 2 dogs. So if I don't have headphones, normally you can hear a bunch of crazy noises going on. So
you're a dog person.
I am. I like cats too. I had a cat for a long time, and then she mysteriously disappeared. But I love my dogs. Yeah.
What dogs have you got?
I have got one pit bull Rottweiler mix. His name is Enzo. He's my service dog. And then I've got his daughter, which is him mixed with Australian Shepherd. And she is incredibly intelligent, almost too smart for her own good. And then Enzo is like, he's definitely my extension of myself. Like, he's my service dog 100%. He goes everywhere but work with me. And he just really is like, my little second half that has his own feet that runs around. Besides that, I have a twin sister, so I guess he's like my third. I don't know.
Because Malcolm Cows, you've got a dog, haven't you?
We do.
What's your dog? What is he?
There he is.
Oh,
He's a border collie. Come here. It's just... No, he's not.
He didn't want to play. He's like, no.
Oh.
No,
yep. I would let mine in here, and they would love to jump all over me and all over my bed, but I literally just washed my comforter this morning, so like
nothing like a clean bed, is there?
Well, it was one of those things. I did all my sheets, I did my duvet, the whole situation. I was like, oh, I see your puppy in the background too. And I was like, everything's gonna be great and perfect and clean tonight, and I'm gonna shower right before bed, so it's gonna be one of those like perfect, clean, brand new experiences. So I'm not gonna let him in here because I already pre-planned this Friday night for me. Okay, like the nice, fresh, crisp sheets is in my future tonight.
Steve, you got a dog, haven't you?
I do, yeah. She's a collie cross between Rottweiler and collie.
That's pretty cool.
So she's got the collie mentality with the protection and stuff of a Rottweiler, but with the colour as well.
That's very cool.
Dog. I'll see if I can get her to come over. Callie, come here. Come here.
Not playing ball. Damn it! What's wrong with these pets? Why are they not on cue?
She's sat on the couch.
Just done a runner.
Sat in Daddy's seat, as we call it.
I have. It's not really a pet. It's an asshole. Is what I have.
The cat.
If you've seen the show, he normally sits on the windowsill here, but he's not here this evening because we've gone. So I have a ginger Persian asshole. Is what I have. He's very vocal. He likes to lay across my feet in bed, so he overheats me every freaking night.
Oh my goodness.
Likes to hide in the house, and then he'll attack your leg, literally claws, teeth, everything when you walk past. If you don't feed him, he'll attack you. He's
and you keep feeding this animal.
Yeah, I know. But my wife likes him. So he's just my asshole. That's all he is to me, he's my asshole. So he stays there. That's it. That's his name. Right. So let's get on with this.
That's pretty funny.
Right. What do you do for a full-time job?
Well, full-time, I am an assistant to an eye doctor.
Right.
Yeah, so I basically fix people's eyes all day. And then I still model on the side, and uh, I, work for a couple of the companies doing advertising and stuff like that too. So
Right. Okay.
Cool.
You fix people's eyes.
Easy.
The last time I went to an optician, they said to me, I said to them, like, let's do some eye surgery or laser treatment.
Yeah.
And they won't do it because I have glasses. Well, they said it's not as effective as people that need reading glasses rather than long sighted, if that's right.
Yeah. So like you were talking about wanting to get LASIK.
Laser surgery.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
don't have to wear your glasses anymore?
Yeah. But they just said it's not as effective if you need reading glasses rather than glasses for seeing long distance.
Yeah. Also, not to get too personal, but how old are you? Because around the age of 40, your eyes actually go through a change. They start going through this change where they start losing elasticity. So you have more difficulties changing from focusing far away to close up, which is why about 40 is when you start wearing reading glasses to begin with.
Right.
So with that being a normal progression of the eye, doing LASIK to try to fix that is pretty pointless because it's 100% you have difficulty focusing now. It's not that you have a difficulty with your actual eye. It's part of getting older. So it would be effective for like a day, and then you would still need your reading glasses because your eye is going through that continual change where you're losing that elasticity. So at younger ages, LASIK works a lot better because your eyes are in a more stable position most of the time. So it doesn't go through as many, your eyes don't go through as many changes physiologically. So LASIK will actually be stable for longer. Whereas when you're older, it's one of those things that it's like, yeah, you might be out of glasses for maybe 5 years after the age of 40, maybe if you're lucky. Whereas at the age of 20 with LASIK, you could be out of glasses for 25 years because just depending on how stable the physiological aspects of your eyes are. So
What you're telling me is that I'm old and I'm knackered.
well, mostly just saying that as you get older, because what's happening is not losing strength of your eyes, it's losing the ability to focus. It's not really as effective like they said.
Yeah, but I'm 21, 23 times over.
I mean, and all of us are, but your eyes aren't. So it's pretty cool though. It's pretty cool though. You can actually within your eyes you can see basically everything that's going on with the rest of your body. You can see if you have heart problems, you can detect diabetes early. You can detect a ton of different diseases and ailments and underlying conditions that you might not notice until it's way too far along to catch in a lot of other situations, but it's like a tiny little thing that you can see, like a change within the eye that it's like, oh, you're having, like, I can tell elevated blood sugar in people's eyes, and I can tell elevated blood pressure just by looking inside people's eyes. So it's kind of cool.
Elevated blood sugar, that's definitely my problem. A whole bag of Haribo will give me that. Definitely. What part of the States are you in?
I am on coastal North Carolina. I live right on the beach of North Carolina.
Nice.
Yeah, pluses and minuses. You know, it's really nice. Like starting in October when all of the tourists are gone, it's going to be super great. But while the
you haven't got any tourists at the moment, though.
Oh no, it's even during lockdown, it was like we were sitting there, people were going out onto the beaches, getting tickets, just all sorts of, it was bad. Like I remember it was like during the like hardest part of lockdown that we were supposed to have, and I remember driving past one of the accesses to the beach and it was just totally blocked full of people, and I was just like, sweet, like I'm glad we're in quarantine. Let me go to work now. But that's America for you. And I live in a college town, so it's one of those things that it's kind of like we have several large universities right here. So it's one of those things that the kids are just sort of like, we're young and we're not going to get sick. So fuck it. Who cares? And then I'm just saying that I'm like, well, the point is, it doesn't matter if you get sick. It's all the old people that live here that when they get sick, you know, that's kind of the problem. So
yeah, because when we had Eric Konasti on, amazing guy, and he's in California.
That's cool.
And when we asked him about lockdown, he was just like, "Yeah, we're fucked."
Yeah.
That was the start. He was just like, "Yeah, we're pretty fucked." And I was like,
So,
"Okay."
yeah, lockdown was basically like they shut down all the bars and restaurants, but that was it. And now you have to wear a mask to go into like places. Not the grocery store, mind you, because you can walk into the grocery store and nobody stops you. But to go into like Claire's at the mall, for example, you cannot buy a set of earrings without a face mask on, okay? I promise
Do
you
we
that.
have a Claire's over here?
Yeah.
Do we?
So
Yeah.
Really?
Claire's
so
accessories.
but you can go into
Don't
the
ask
store.
me how I know.
You can go to the store right next door to it without a mask on. So it's one of those things that it's kind of like I have to wear a mask at work for 10 and a half hours a day because it's, you know, I work in the healthcare field, so it's kind of like, hey, put your mask on. But I have people all day, all they do, they'll come in and they'll be like, I hate these masks, and I'll just be looking at them and I'm like, you've been in one for an hour, like
Yeah.
today, and that's it this whole week. Like, try like 60 hours a week in one, and then maybe bitch, because it really isn't that bad. You know, it's going to be really strange to see people's faces again. That's going to be the weird part.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
To I forget what people's lips and chins look like. You know, I met a ton of people at my, you know, at work that it's like, I've only never seen them with a mask on. So if I ever see their chins and their lips, I'm going to be like, oh, wow, you look way different than the person I met.
You can never actually tell anymore if whether that person under the mask is smiling at you or the.
I love that.
Cool about that.
That's the best part, though, because really, I'll be sitting there and I'll have my mask on and I'll just be sitting there and things will happen or something will be said that's totally inappropriate or something that I shouldn't respond to. And normally you'd be able to tell because my face will give it away that I'm like laughing or totally disgusted. But because my whole face is covered up from here down, it's like, oh, you can't tell that I'm totally disgusted by the ridiculous thing you just said. Or, oh, you can't tell that I'm laughing at this thing that I probably shouldn't be laughing at, but I'm going to because it is funny because it's not me. But at the same time, you know, I'm a human being. Certain things you just sit there and you shouldn't laugh at it, but you're like, can't help it. Sorry. So you made a bad decision.
It's like I went. I'll put it in. I went grocery shopping the other day. I'll put it in your terms, grocery. And like some of the attendants in the store, they before lockdown when there was no mask, they are really quite friendly, and they generally, as you walk down the aisle with your trolley or whatever, they kind of smile at you, don't they?
Yeah.
And I think they're kind of still doing that because you can't see their mouth because they're all wearing masks. You kind of think, what are you staring at? why are these people just staring at you random? But I'm sure that they're smiling at you like as a good morning or good day kind of smile, and you can't see none of it anymore. You just kind of like, do I take this the wrong way or not at all?
See, and that's something that I have to remember as well because I do a lot of like I'll acknowledge people by smiling at them.
Yeah.
And I have to remember, oh yeah, all you can see is that I've looked up at you. You can't really tell that I'm smiling at you and I'm like, "Hey, I see you." So I have to like verbally make noises now to acknowledge people instead of just being like, "Hi, I see you." I have to be like, "Oh, hello, random stranger." And that's weird because, you know, before it was just like I could smile and nod a little bit and people were like, "Oh, she's friendly." And now I have to be like, "Oh, hi," and actually use my voice. It's
It involves you talking to people who don't like talking. My wife's like, actually, I hate people. I don't like talking to people. But no mind.
Well, at work it's especially hard because like the masks push air into crevices of the machines we use and they fog them up. So it's like even wearing the mask, we have to sit there and be like, "Hey, patient, please pull your mask like halfway down, which totally negates the purpose of having it on. But you need to pull that down so that the machine doesn't fog up so that we can actually use it.
Right.
Because otherwise we can't see and you can't see. Like the just diopters in general will be one of those things that they'll be sitting there and we'll be trying to refract them, which is when you go through the is this better situation at the eye exam. And we'll be sitting there just trying to do that. And they'll be like, wow, I can't really tell what that letter is. And we'll look at it and we'll be like, oh, it's because everything is all foggy in there, not because you can't see. It's all your hot air just blowing up into them. So
The best thing that gets me is old people who wear masks.
it's so cute.
I think they're brilliant. Right, this is my mask that I wear, right? But you walk into a shop or something and they're wearing a mask like...
That is what I was going to ask. Right?
It's only covering the mouth.
There's a lot
all
of
that
idiots
about?
up here that just they either wear their mask like on their chin.
Yeah, I've seen that as well.
Right,
Like,
and
just the chin.
on the chin, just over their ears, and then they just pull it up to like the top of the lip, rather than actually
Okay.
over their actual face, their breathing apparatus. You know.
I see it all day. One of my doctors does that, and he's got like a really big nose, and that's what he's just like. My nose just doesn't fit. I'm like, well, it's kind of pointless to wear the mask if it's only covering this part of your face. Like, you're still breathing it, like. But at the end of the
Can
day,
you smell
like,
a fart? Yeah,
like,
you're gonna die.
at the end of the day, like my husband, he has to wear different levels of masks all the time at his job. So it's one of those things that these masks that everybody's wearing, you know, they're not very effective in keeping anything out or off of your face. He'll wear one of those masks to do simple parts of his job, and he'll come and go to take a shower at night, and he'll still be pulling all sorts of dust and grime out of his nose and out of his lips, you know, and it's one of those things that it's like, if you're really concerned, you should really be wearing one of like the sealed rubber ones with the ventilators, because those are the only ones that actually keep particles off of your face. All of the other ones are just sort of like something to cover up half of your face. But you know, when it's get fines of $400 or $1,000 or whatever it is for not wearing a mask, it's kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna wear a fucking mask. Like, I don't want anybody to get sick, and if this is somehow helping, then I'm gonna wear this piece of cloth over my face until you guys tell me not to.
Yeah, absolutely. Because people are just like, oh, it's such an inconvenience to wear a mask these days. And I'm like, yeah, it's either wear a mask or have a tube down your throat that keeps you alive. It's, you know, pick one.
Not only that, but they make so many cool ones these days. Like, how can you even complain? You don't have to wear
You can
like a
even take
plain
a
ugly
picture
one.
of your face and have like the bottom section printed, so it looks like you're smiling all day when you're actually like.
I have one,
No.
and it's the one that I keep in my car, so that I have like, it's my like if I need to run into the grocery. So it's got like a little cat nose and it's got a little cat mouth and it's all tie-dye, and I'll have my beanie and my blue hair, and it makes people so happy to see this like cat face come in. But you know what? It's one of those things that it's like, if I'm gonna wear it, like, might as well have fun with it. I mean,
I'm totally fixated that I need to look
It's,
like
it's a
somebody from
fashion
Mortal
accessory,
Kombat.
isn't it?
It's got to be somebody from Mortal Kombat on a mask, isn't it? Sub-Zero or something.
Yeah.
there's everything you could like just Google whatever random word you want plus mask, and boom, you're gonna. I mean, be careful because you might get some weird shit, but you're gonna find what you're looking for. Like, even if it's on Etsy or something, somebody will have crocheted this amazing Sub-Zero mask, and you'll be like, that is rad. Look at that.
Absolutely. I need that in my life. I have a 3D printer.
I paid $20 for that. Yeah. I paid $20 for less retarded things, you know.
I think we all have, Jamie.
Sometimes I think about like what I've wasted just random bits of money on, and I'm like, you know,
I don't even want to think about it.
especially within the drone world, I'm just like, you know,
Yeah.
I've spent $100 that was broken in a minute, so I can spend $5 on something totally random and unnecessary, right?
Who's Flyer Tuck? Who's Flyer Tuck in the chat? It says shout out to Kelsey and Pops.
Oh, Flyer Tuck is awesome.
Hi.
Am I the only person that doesn't know who Fly Tuck is?
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
I said hello when he appeared in the
You
chat.
know, the people who've been racing with for years and still not match the names to the faces.
So
I'm still getting given names and be like, who's that? I know I'm spotting from, but who is it?
So Jerry, what's your current quad setup?
Oh, well, it's actually sitting right here.
Conveniently, that.
Well, conveniently, it's still strapped to my backpack because
Oh, okay.
I've had an epic adventure with this, and I haven't even looked at it since.
I saw you recently do a lot of Tiny Whoop stuff. So.
Oh, well, there's a reason for that. Because I've been, you see this lovely marmot that I have right here?
Oh, nice.
Okay, so this beautiful marmot that I have literally spent the last 6 months waiting for parts, building, rebuilding, working through all of the electrical issues, working through crossfire, like literally everything you could possibly happen to like think of that wouldn't work for any dumb, stupid reason. Like UARTs resetting for absolutely no reason. You know, just everything that could possibly happen to this quad did. And then I finally got it in the air. And I was just so happy and so excited. I about cried. It was great. I got about a minute in. I ripped the power lead off, went home, fixed it, was dodging thunderstorms. I was that excited. It had been like 6 months since I'd flown a 5-inch quad. Okay. It was finally in the air. It was flying. It wasn't flying great, mind you, but it was flying. And that's what, to me, all I wanted was to not be flying my Whoop, which I love my Whoop, but at the same time, I wanted to be flying a real quad. So I was so excited, switched the battery lead. Everything was good to go. Got back out there. I'm in my 4th battery over 6 months in a 5-inch quad. I had a desync on my 4-in-1 everything was brand new on this, mind you. Keep that in mind too. On my brand new ANC that is having issues, I have a desync about 30 feet in the air. It lands in grass, and my space grade marmot that's brand new that has 4 batteries in it. It has 4 batteries in it. That's an arm, and because it's a unibody, it was one of those things like I looked at it, and at first I picked it up, I was like, oh, a prop spec, that's cool. And I went to go and fix it, and it did that, and I was like, oh, it's the whole arm. And it's like the whole, like the only thing that you can see right there is the top plate, like the top
laminate
part.
and the wires. Yeah,
And I think that's only an intact because I have a piece of double stick tape from the LED there. Honestly, I think that's the only reason why I didn't snap the top of it as well. And I sort of like, I looked at it and I threw up a little bit, and I was just like, all right, well, I'm just not going to look at this for a little while because I've literally been going through everything trying to get this thing in the air. Like I went through every issue. My soldering iron even broke. Like everything happened trying to get this quad in the air. And it's the only 5-inch quad I have currently. Keep that in mind. So it's not like, I could just be like, oh, I'm just gonna, I've been trying and trying and trying, and then this happened, and I was just like, all right, well, I think I need to just not look at this for a minute because it was really disheartening. Like a couple weeks ago, I thought I had it good to go. I had a bunch of people that had helped me with the electronic stuff that I didn't understand. And I thought I was good to go a couple weeks ago. And when I went to go fly, it wouldn't arm. And it's actually part of my last vlog. It wouldn't arm. And you can see on camera, like I about cried because I had gone through all of these processes, and I had hover tested it in the apartment the night before. I went to work, and then when I went to go out to fly, it wouldn't arm. Like nothing. It was one of those things I was just like, are you serious? Like I about cried, and you can see it like in the vlog, you can see like my whole world just be like, I was so excited. And then it was just like, like, if everything were to melt like Mario World style, that's exactly how I felt. And it was just like
I know how you feel. I had that last month.
like pools of colorful ice cream, just like that's how I was just like, like really
just fading away.
And it's just like I want to fly so bad, but at the same time, it's like I have another frame that I can swap over. I just haven't. One, I'm incredibly busy. Like I work all the time. When I'm not working, I have a lot of other things on my plate right now. Not only that, but my significant other and my brother who flew with me for a while, they no longer fly. So it's one of those things that I don't even have like my team, you know, I don't have like a crew, and flying by myself is incredibly like intimidating. It's something I'm getting a lot better at, but it's something I don't like doing. I've had stuff stolen from me when I was by myself. I'm a pretty little person, so being alone and under the goggles, like even the big guys I know, you put those goggles down and you're totally helpless, minus that you have a quad that's flying. So having had guys actually come up and steal a bunch of batteries and shit from me while I was in the goggles before, and having other shit happen in the past, it's one of those things like going by myself is terrifying, and I don't have anybody around me. So it's like motivation is just kind of like blah with all the issues and nobody here to sit here and be like, come on, Jamie, you got this. Let's go. It's kind of like, oh, like I need to just not look at that for a minute and I'll just keep flying my whoop because it flies great.
We just need to like arrange like once all this COVID crap is out of the way, we just need to arrange a trip to the States to go and see everybody. Well, I constantly chat with Jordan, so Jet, a Gab, Eric Konasti. Don't talk
Paul
to
and
Stu
Eric.
so much, but because Stu is just way too busy at the moment, isn't he? He's just everywhere, isn't he? But they're all constantly going, if you're coming over, let's go for a fly. Let's go for a fly. But it's just like you guys are so scattered over the States. We just literally have to do one or the other.
Yeah.
Or a big long road trip for about 3 months.
Yeah, well,
It would
like,
effectively be 3 months.
Oh yeah.
well, that's like, you know, I've tried to explain to a couple people before that aren't in the US when it's like I'm going to Atlanta next weekend, and I'm gonna go and see Ciati, and at that point I'll probably try to have this already fixed so that we can fly and do all that jazz. And here we're gonna do some flying while I'm down in Atlanta and go and see the guys and all that jazz. But it's still one of those things like that's an 8-hour trip for me to get to Atlanta. That's 8 hours in a car. So like to get to like where Jet lives, he lives out in Washington, and that is no joke.
Yeah, he's Washington, Seattle, isn't he?
Yeah, that is a 48-hour car ride to get to him. And in a plane, it's still like an all-day trip to get up to Washington. Like from where I'm at to get to where he's at, it's still, you know, you have to take this plane to here and this plane to here, and then you get up here and you're finally there after like 14 hours of airports and shit. And it's like not even like one long plane ride where you can just take a nap. It's like you have to go from this spot to this spot because there's no flights.
Yeah, there's no direct route. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way. If you were going from Seattle this way, there are, but going the other way because of the way the airstreams flow, I guess you have to like jump. You have to go north and then south and then back north again. It's a bunch of silly bullshit. But
the UK is so small now. It's just it's like.
Well, that's like I see that you get like I see you guys and you'll be like, we're going to this crazy cool UK country today for flying, and I'm just like, I'm gonna go fly some super cool castles in Poland. Like, I want to go for a 6-hour car ride and be in a different country with cool mountains and buildings and shit. Like, we don't have castles, okay?
I live in one of the most southerly points of the UK, so I'm right down the bottom in Plymouth. All right.
Okay.
Stephen is probably in one of the most northern points of Scotland.
No, I'm not.
Where are you? You're in Scotland for a
Edinburgh,
start.
so it's like the lowest part of probably Scotland possible. It's still like 11.5-hour drive.
Yeah, in my terms, he's bloody far away. But I could probably drive from me to him in 8 hours.
It's about 11 with a couple of stops the other side.
You don't stop.
See, but that's like me driving up to go see cricket. You know, like that's how long it would take for me to get to where cricket is, because I'm here and he's up here, and that's actually a trip that's probably gonna happen end of the month ish, like around Halloween maybe. I don't know. I'm try to get him to come down here because I know shit's still like crazy up there. So I want to do like some fun Halloween silly nonsense, and I know they're actually doing like pumpkin patches and shit down here, so we'll see what we can make happen.
Are you still involved with Rotor Riot at the moment?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Did I miss something?
Oh, well, there were a lot of things that happened earlier in the year, and just overall, the Rotor Riot experience was not a good overall experience for me. There were a lot of aspects. I really liked being able to get the community together, and I really liked being able to do some of the things that I was able to do while I was involved with Rotor Riot. But it really opened my eyes up to a lot of the really shitty sides of FPV that a lot of people don't really know about. And it really, I saw a lot from people that I looked up to that I was like, oh, wow, this is not, I like to fly and have fun and hang out with my friends. And I care a lot about the community. And I learned a lot about how a lot of the companies within FPV don't give a shit about the people involved in the community at all. They don't care about the actual human beings. They only care about money and likes and clicks and stupid bullshit that I don't care about. Like, I don't care about those numbers, and I can't put value to, followers or any of that. Like, it doesn't, I guess I'm not in that mindset where that makes any sense to matter to me. But I learned that that's a big deal to a lot of people, like enough that they would rather care about that and argue and bitch about stupid bullshit involving that than do community meetups or get the actual people together that, want to fly. So I don't know. There were a lot of things that I was like, I went into it thinking, this will be great. And then I learned a bunch of crazy shit. And I was just like, oh my God, I care about a lot of things that these people don't care about. And this is we're not really on the same plane here, because I want to get everybody together to fly and have fun. And that's not the main goal
what it's
here.
all about, isn't it? It's getting everyone together, flying your stupid toys, having a great laugh.
Exactly. It made me feel so good when I was able to carve out those points in time where I could do community meetups. Like, I made those windows of time because, like, on trips and stuff, because it was like, no, we're doing this and this and this. And I'm like, no, we're actually going to wake up early on Friday and we're going to spend 2 hours with the local community, because that's how we're going to do this. Like, everybody's going to get in the car because this is important. And then boom, there's like 60 people out there at 9 o'clock on a Friday morning. People drove like 5 hours to come and hang out. And I was just like, this is important. Do you see, like, this is the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
All of that other shit doesn't, like, it. I guess it matters on the business side of it. I get it, whatever. But at the same time, the community is what matters. Like, they're the people that are buying the products anyway, right?
Yeah,
and
absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Which is really going to make this next part interesting. Right, so every time we've had a FPV celebrity on, we call everybody that's in the States a celebrity, because you lot are part of the original FPV, the first kind of YouTubers that kind of appeared. We do this thing every week to everybody now that. We ask you 3 questions, okay? They're not necessarily associated with FPV, but it does define your character very well.
For us, anyway.
To us, yeah, absolutely. Right, let's
I'm down. I'm an open book.
Go into it with an open mind.
I'm an open book, but you'll get honest answers. So make sure that you understand the question you're asking.
Right. Okay. Right. Can you physically see the live stream as well as the chat that you're talking to us on, or not?
I'm not watching the live stream. I'm only in the Hangouts. I don't have like the YouTube pulled up or anything wherever it's streaming, so I can't see comments.
Right. Okay. No, it doesn't matter. Right. It doesn't matter. We can just tell you. Anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Let's bring it up. There it is. Right. So we have been running something called a bitch slap leaderboard.
I've heard little bits and pieces about this.
See, this travels far and wide.
I'm not very detailed or learned in this. Go
No,
ahead
that's
and
fine. That's fine. We will reveal all. So basically, we have this leaderboard running, and you are allowed to pick somebody that you think needs the good old slap around the face to sort them out, or it could be a friendly tap to say, "Come on, get your shit together." But the current leaderboard stands. All right, and I'll read this from last to first. So at the bottom is Tone Star FPV from Let's Drone Out.
Okay.
Then Chad Kappa. And then we've got Mr. Steele. And then we've got Jet. Obviously Jordan. And then 3 people are tying the top with 2 points each. So the first one is Sharpoo. Then we've got Schizo. And to be honest, Vanover has been top since day 1. Everybody else has caught up on points, but Vanover has been top since day 1. So, out of the FPV community, who is the one person you think deserves your backhand slap across the face?
It doesn't have to be the one on the leaderboard.
No, it doesn't have to be anybody on the leaderboard. It can be somebody completely new if you like.
Well, the thing about that is there's not really anybody that I would really like slap across the face. I'm not. Well, see, okay, I pulled up I have the YouTube up now, so I can actually see comments. So I can see the leaderboard on the side now.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. The people that voted for like Sharpoo it was more of a friendly slap to say, "Come on, you haven't done any flying footage. You haven't done YouTube for so long."
Like for Sharpoo, would it be one of those like tap on the bums where you're like, "Come on, boy, you got to do this." Like,
yeah,
get back in the game.
absolutely. So
yeah,
it doesn't have to be in anger, but
because if it was like a friendly like, "Hey man, we miss you, come back," I would give that to Sharpoo. But if it was just like, "Hey, tone the fuck down," like on the list, Vanover definitely is on the top of that. But he has calmed down a lot, from my understanding, in the last like 6 months. So I don't think he really like. I definitely don't think he deserves like a backhand to the face or anything. He's a child. So you don't want to do that. But I mean, I wouldn't really like hit anybody. I would give Cricket a little tap on the rump just to be like, "Yo, boy, you're killing it," just so that he can be on the list. Can I do that? Can I make Cricket be on the list?
Of course you can.
Yeah.
All right, well, put Cricket on the
takes
list.
a big slap to the face.
Cricket gets the nice little rump tap. I want that to be very clear that that's a lump tap for Cricket.
Right, okay.
That's a lump tap for Cricket. You should put a little heart next to his name, like Cricket with a heart, so that it's clear that that's not an angry one, because I love him.
It's a tap, but it's a friendly tap. We need to put that in brackets, don't we? It's just a tap. Right, okay. Right, let's get rid of that off the screen. Right, question 2. Right.
Go on, Shane.
What's your best pickup line or chat up line?
Wait, what do you mean, like to pick up the dudes or the girls? Like, I've been married for a while, so.
How did you pick your chap up?
Huh?
What magic did you use to pick your chap up then? Your current husband?
Well, I didn't really have to say much. I mean, let's be totally honest here. I just sort of like walked in and smiled, and he just sort of melted into a puddle and was like, "I love you." So.
Oh.
But no,
it was the headset, Amy. Come on, it was the headset.
No, I didn't have the headset back then. I did have purple hair when we met. Well, not when we met, but when we started dating. But no, me and him have known each other since we were kids. He's actually been one of my brother's best mates for a really long time. So it was one of those things, like, I went through a bunch of crazy shit and a bunch of life stuff, and then when my mom passed away, a bunch of other crazy stuff happened, and he was there, and me and him just sort of like connected, and I was all just about like, "Hey, I just want to bang you because you're super hot." And he was like, nah, you are my best friend's little sister. If we're going to do this, it's going to be like a real relationship and we're going to actually like get to know each other. So we were friends for a while before we ever even started dating. And yeah, we even through the ups and downs of our relationship, we're best friends. So we always support each other and give each other 100%. And we end up coming back. So pickup line was probably, like I said, I think I like walked in and I smiled and he was like, hey girl, you're super cute. And I was like, you can take me home if you want, because so are you. But again, I already knew him, so it was kind of like.
Hang on a minute. I hit the wrong button. There you go. Is that a picture of him?
No, it's all blurred. Can't see.
I was gonna say I have some pictures right here on the table, and I've got he's the background on my phone, but.
Right, let's move on then, because that's yeah. So
yeah, I haven't really done like a pickup line thing in a really long time. We've been together for dating for like 10 years, so.
When we asked Steele the same question, he was like stuck for ages, didn't he? He was just like,
yeah, he was.
I really don't know what I'm doing with this question.
Yeah, Steele. I don't think he really does a whole lot of the picking up of girls either. I think he just is waiting for the right one to stumble into his lap. I think that's
I think so as well. I mean, have you seen him lately? He's like proper grooming his whole head at the minute.
Yeah.
With the shaping of the beard and the
whole every time I catch anything on there, I'll send him a message and I'll be like, yo, new haircut's looking super fly, you know. I'm not even gonna lie, Steele is he is a perfect male specimen. So it's one of those things that it's like, good job, dude. Like, way to go. Keep it up. You're gonna find you that perfect woman one of these days.
Right, third question. This is the ultimate question.
All right.
This will make or break you, this one. Okay, what are your feelings about pineapple on pizza?
Oh, 100% pineapple goes on pizza. Yeah, no, that's like a no questions. Like, I love pineapple on pizza. I like pineapple off of pizza. I'm currently growing a pineapple right now, and it's doing really well. So, pineapple is life. Pineapple, I mean, fun fact, pineapple is really good for a lot of things, especially like guys should definitely eat a lot of pineapple. So it's really good for a lot of things. So eat plenty of pineapple, you guys, especially you fellas.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, we do know, unfortunately. Steve, you like pineapple, Steve, don't you? On pizza?
Not on pizza, but I do like pineapple.
Oh, what?
Is it because it's hot, or do you just not like the pineapple and the cheese melding together? Like, what's the problem there?
It's like a fruit on an actual, like, normal food. It's like sweet and savory type stuff. It just doesn't work for me. My wife, on the other hand, she loved it. So, house divided.
So you get your pizzas half and half, or do you let her win and you pick it off?
No, she has her own.
See, I mean, I was gonna say, like, if you pick it off, that's love. But I mean, if you get her whole own pie, that's really love. Like, she's not gonna go hungry.
Yeah, see, that's a massive difference between the States and here. When we phone somebody up and say, "Oh, we'll order a large pizza," it comes through and it's like that. When you guys do it in the States, order an extra large pizza, it arrives by forklift on a pallet.
Well, a large is normally like 16 inches, and then if you can get like a house pie that's like 24 inches. I worked at a pizza shop for like 2 years.
That's just not available in
we're like 8 to 10, and that's pretty much it up here.
Oh yeah, like 8 inches is. I think 8
not
to
that
10.
big.
That's like a personal pizza, and then a medium is 12 inches. So you guys get personal pizzas. So yeah, definitely get her own pie. Get her two, Jesus.
Malk
I ate a whole large by myself, you guys, and a salad. So
what the fuck? Oh my god! Because one of our viewers, Dead Zone, he's called Dead Zone, isn't he? Last week on the show, somebody somebody sent me a message on Instagram saying that to up the pizza game, they put kiwi on pizza. So
what?
it's ham and kiwi, which is just like wrong on so many levels.
That's
I
weird.
mean, have
it's
you tried
green.
it though? Like, I'm gonna say that since I haven't tried it, I'm not gonna say no yet because I could see how the flavor profiles could potentially work. Like,
Kiwi tastes of nothing.
No, you're wrong.
But-
Kiwi is delicious, but it just doesn't belong on pizza.
I think the texture would be the weirdness there, but I think it
Yeah.
would be worth a shot. I would try it. I mean,
And it's got black
do you
bits
put
in it. It's
it?
like
Wait,
rabbit
did
shit.
he put the kiwi on cold after, or did he heat up the pizza with the kiwi? Because that's
No,
important.
the kiwi was heated up with the pizza.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then- and then- so Dead Zone literally cooked this kiwi pizza, right? And then he sent me a message on Instagram with him eating it, and he went, "Oh, it's not horrendous." And I was just like, "There's nothing worse." Right? Okay, ham and pineapple pizza, bits of ham and yellow pineapple on yellow cheese looks great. Ham and kiwi pizza, so nice yellow cheese, bits of ham, and then green circular bits with little black dots all over it on a pizza just looked wrong. It looked moldy.
So wait. Do you not like spinach and mushroom pizza? Because that's got green bits and the mushroom bits, and that's not really like.
Oh, I can't do mushrooms.
No.
I just,
Oh my goodness, you're missing out on life, man. Mushrooms are like
it
the
just
best
tastes,
protein substitute ever.
they just taste like I'm eating mud.
Oh well, you need to clean them a little bit better and
It's,
add some
it's the
seasoning.
earthy tones in the mushrooms.
Yeah, absolutely.
You season mushrooms just like you season other things. But you take a portobello and you batter it like you would a pork chop, and you fry it like you would a pork chop, and no joke, it tastes like a pork chop.
Shut up.
Put a little bit, put a little bit of cumin on there. You're good to go. I'm not even lying.
What?
Yeah. I am not even lying. Try it. Like find a nice portobello, make sure you clean it really well, little bit of cumin, batter it just like you would to do like a pan fried pork chop, fry it up just like you would a pork chop, and it tastes very, 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 very similar without the meat. So
Nah, that's not real. Surely.
I'm just saying.
I had pork chops the other day and they were delicious.
It's a
mushroom?
good
No,
it's
no
a
way.
good substitute. Try it. Like
You're not
it's a
vegetarian,
good.
are you?
I was vegetarian for quite a while. Yes, I am currently eating meat like twice a week. But it's really one of those things. Like I eat meat when I crave it, and I don't really get that a lot. So I became vegetarian mostly because it was one of those things that it was like I started getting sick because I wasn't getting the right amount of protein, and I had to figure out how to balance back out. So I started doing a bunch of vegetarian stuff because it's like I wasn't craving meat. It's not like, most of the time even when I'm cooking it, because my family all eats meat, but even when I'm cooking it, most of the time it's not like I'm sitting there like, oh, this steak looks delicious, It's just most of the time I'm like, okay, here's some food. So I eat it when I want it, but it's one of those things that for the most part, I eat a lot of other things just because it's what I prefer. It's what, like I like mushrooms. So it's one of those things that I like to cook mushrooms. And I like a lot of that type of food. So I just naturally, I don't eat dairy except for yeah, I'll have eggs and I'll have a very little bit of cheese. But
unless you have a pizza and it's buried in cheese.
Well, that's no, because I don't get extra cheese. I'll get light cheese, but like that's like my exception. If I have cheese, I'll have cheese on my pizza, or I'll have like a little sprinkle of cheese, and it's mostly just because I'm lactose intolerant. So I just stay away from most dairy stuff.
I can't cut out the dairy stuff. I can't do it. It's just
they make lots of things that are dairy free that actually are really good. I actually have some. What is it? Ben and Jerry's chocolate mint cookie ice cream that tastes 100% like the regular variety. it doesn't taste like coconut or almond or any of the other like normal flavors that they make non-dairy ice cream with.
Right.
Because they make it with sunflower oil. And I guess somehow that makes it not taste like all the other stupid nonsense because it tastes really, really good. But you just have to be creative and do some research, and you can find lots of really cool alternatives if you're really looking for them.
We need to change this show to like a health show or something.
Oh.
To be fair, every time we have a guest on, that's what we class as a big star like yourself and Steele and Jet and all the rest of it. We spend more time learning about the person themselves rather than the FPV side.
Well, I mean, you guys get to see a lot of the FPV stuff is what you see on Instagram and what you see on YouTube because it's what we post. So, you know, there are tons of people that even at this point, like I've been in the FPV community for 4 years, you know, and there's still people that don't know I have a twin sister.
I didn't know that until like you mentioned it earlier. I was like, wait, what?
No, I don't know this.
You know, and the thing is like she's even been in several of my vlogs, and I've introduced her as my twin sister several times. So it's one of those things that it's like it's cool to do interviews and stuff and get to talk about not just the FPV stuff because you guys get to see you guys know the FPV stuff. You guys know trips, and you guys know, you know, that I get to fly with a bunch of really amazing people that are just like my favorite humans, you know. You guys see that, but you don't get to see the stuff that, you know, like I said, like my twin sister, because I don't post about her all the time. You know, a lot of people get confused about whether my daughter is my daughter or a friend of mine because she's giant. So it's one of those things that it's like people don't know that I have a child, and that's kind of a weird thing, but it's kind of cool at the same time to, like I said, you know, people don't realize that, you know, my husband is my husband, and it's like, yeah, you know, he's been my husband for a while, you guys. You just see the FPV stuff.
Yeah,
exactly.
But I think
so
here's it's fair to say that
Shane.
everybody that we've had on in the last 6 months, we've always talked about personal stuff rather than the FPV. It's I don't know. I kind of think it's better in a way.
So let's get to know the person that we know in the FPV community. You know, we get to see them and talk to them on a more personal level. So here's a question, Jamie, right? Does your twin sister do hoops as well?
No. My twin sister she's tried to hula hoop once or twice. It's not her thing. Hooping was really one of those things that even when I picked it up, it was one of those things I was like, yeah, this is way too frilly for me. Like I'm definitely the most feminine out of the girls in my family. So it was still something like I've always been on dirt bikes. I've always been dirty. I've been in the shop with my dad. Like it's been one of those things like hooping was one of those things that I saw other girls doing it. I was like, oh, that's like girly dancing stuff. And it kind of was not really something a friend of mine left one at my house and she's like, I'm just going to leave this here. And you're just, one of these days you're going to pick it up. And then I did. And I realized how hard it was. That was the big thing is like I sat there, I tried to do something that I thought was going to be easy. And I was like, oh, this is way more challenging to actually make this happen than what I had thought in my head because it's a circle. You know, it's something that you think it's going to be so easy because it looks so easy, but then you go to actually do it and you're like, oh my God, how the hell are they doing that? Like, how does this work? Because it's not as, it takes a little bit of thought. So it's one of those things.
I've seen some of the videos of you doing it and I'm convinced there's a split in the ring somewhere.
No.
I was like the
body parts rather than around them. You know what I mean? I was like, what?
No, they're literally just pieces of plastic, like literally plastic hula hoops. And I've made a ton of mine. The only one I have within reach is my fancy LED one, and the only thing that makes that different is it's a plastic hoop with a computer in it and a LED strip with a bunch of LEDs in it that goes around it. Like it literally, I love my hoops because there's like my other ones, there's no batteries. I don't have to worry about when they get wet. I don't have to worry about if, you know, the worst that's going to happen is I'm going to break it. And then, you know, I have to get another one, or I fix it depending on where the break is and how bad. So,
that's definitely a cheaper hobby than FPV? Got to be.
you would think, but my fancy LED hoop was still like $500. So
what?
it's not. Well, it is a smart computer.
That's why I don't hula hoop.
Well, my other ones that aren't LED, like even just the plastic ones, because of the kind of plastic that they are, and that there is workmanship that goes into them. They can range between $20 and $60 without any electronics in them, just depending on the tape, or if it's not taped, or if it's just plastic, because reflective tape is expensive. Like, it's so ridiculous how expensive these pieces of plastic can get. But the LED one, they're expensive because they do things like it syncs up with the music. It'll sync up with another hoop when I'm doing doubles. I can do custom patterns. I can do all sorts of things with it. So it's one of those things that it's like, it costs the price that it does, but you really just have to look at, where you spend your money. This is something that I may have spent $500 on that hula hoop, but if I go and even do one performance where I get paid $200 and I make $200 in tips, I mean, there's 2 hours of me playing with a toy that I love, making money with it. So it's kind of like, you have to think about, you spend $500 on a GoPro, because you use it.
Yeah, but it's not like you strap a GoPro to your hoop and then send it 1.5 miles out, and it never comes back.
No, but I have strapped a GoPro to my hoop a couple of times, and those come out to be some really cool videos. They're really neat. It's kind of trippy.
I just realised that I've not been in shot the entire show. It's great.
But it's been discussed in the chat that they can't see you, and anytime you talk, you're not there.
So this is the problem with the ultra wide screens that now installed. I'm off the end completely.
Yeah, you'll be way over there somewhere, Shane.
Right. Right. One last question before we go, then, because we only run for an hour. We don't like to keep you over it because we appreciate it's the middle of the day over there for you. You got other things to do.
Oh well, I mean, also you guys situated your whole schedule to be late at night for me because of my crazy schedule. So, like, thank you guys. That's crazy. I appreciate you guys going through the hoops of
literally
setting up a whole different time and everything to house my weird schedule.
Right, I'll bring myself on the screen. Like, hey, I'm like, way. Right. Cast your mind back to, I don't know if it ever happened in the States, but it most certainly happened over here. Do you remember the Ice Bucket Challenge?
I do.
You do. So I was going to try this. You don't have to, you don't want to, but I was going to think that maybe when you did the Ice Bucket Challenge, you would nominate people, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would sit there and, it was like to help with cancer, right? Somehow everybody dumping ice cold water on their friends was gonna like help cure cancer.
Apparently.
Even though nobody set up like, funds or drives or anything to like, hey, donate here. It was really just like, hey, if I get 8 likes on my thing, I'm gonna dump a bunch of water on my best friend. And that's what happened. So but yeah.
So,
what about this?
So what I was thinking is maybe you could nominate somebody that would help the show. So you need to nominate somebody that you think would be good to come on the show.
Oh, and somebody that I think that would come on, because there are several people that if you could somehow manage to get them to come out of their hole and actually like be part of the FPV community again, that would be amazing.
Do not say Sharpoo, because I've been trying for too long now.
No, but I think if you could get like Schizo to come on, that might be cool.
I was like that close that we were having a conversation about it, and then he just disappeared off the face of the earth.
Oh well, he does that. That's pretty schizo. So I would say keep trying because that would probably be a good interview, especially since he hasn't really done any vlogging. And I know he's really weird about being on camera, so that's probably why you may not get him to do it. But he hasn't done like anything talking to the camera in like over a year. Especially since everything with his dad and all that jazz. So I think it would probably be kind of cool to be able to bring him on and if you could, just have him be able to communicate with the community and have the community be able to communicate back to him on like the live level, I think would be really neat. Besides that, I think if you could get Stoner Trash and her boyfriend Reckless, the Canadian couple that are like killing it right now, you should get them on because those two kids, one, they're both killing it, like I said, but two, they're like the cutest. They have great personalities. They both are just like super random. I think that would be a lot of fun. But like I said, when it comes to like people that keeping an eye on. I think if you could get the two of them on together, that would be really dope.
That'd be carnage. Because she's got like opposite color ears to you. She's everything pink.
She's like she is all pink. You're right. But yeah, I think if you guys could get them on, especially like the whole couple aspect because they both fly and they're both really pushing it and they're both really like invested into the hobby right now. Like that's something I love to see when there's a lot of, like I had mentioned about Kelsey, how she's like really passionate and she, you can see it in the videos that she puts out and you can see it in her flying, how, this is something that she loves. This is something that couple, you can tell that not only is it something they love to do separately, but it's something they love to do together. And that's like the ultimate FPV goal, to be able to go out and have a blast with your loved one doing this amazing thing that we all love. So I think getting them on would be super awesome. I would love to do an interview with the both of them, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe you come on the show with them.
I mean, that would be cool.
Yeah, we can arrange that. I'll get hold of them. But I did promise Kelsey that if I ever got Schizo on, she would host the show because.
See, and that was why I was thinking. That's why I was thinking that because you've got Kelsey here, you might be able to get Schizo on because I know, whatever. But at the same time,
I would not be a good host, but I could try my best.
No, but you would be the best bet to get him there because you and him already have like a semi-working relationship, whatever. And, he, as a female pilot, you're one of those pilots that he actually is like, hey, she's rocking it. So, no, if you could get him on, that would be amazing. It's just actually getting him to get on, it's sort of like getting him to go out and fly. Even if you're standing outside his door, it's kind of like you'll be knocking on his door and like, John, come out and fly. And he'll be like, I can't leave the house today, and it's just like, what? So, if you can make that happen, that would be super rad. But on a more realistic side of the spectrum, getting Stoner Trash and Reckless on, that would be dope because Curtis and Haley are really, really cool people. And they're really FPV driven. So that's kind of cool.
All right. I'll get in contact with them and I'll set it up. It's not a problem. Cool.
Yeah. I'm sure that they would be super down to do it too.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus she's a cat woman, isn't she?
Oh yeah. She's all about them cats.
Yeah, she is like my wife. She is a crazy cat woman. But, right, we are out of time, unfortunately, so I need to say goodbye to everybody in the chat, even though the problem is, right, the chat is so flipping far away. It's like so far over there.
Oh my god, Jamie.
Oh my god. Okay, in case you didn't know, Jamie, right, just quickly, I redid the whole studio here this week.
I was going to mention that I like all of your colorful boxes.
Oh, that's all stock. This is my organised stock.
I love it.
So I redid the computer, and earlier this week I actually passed my DaVinci Resolve Masters course.
Congratulations!
I am now certified. Woohoo! So I redid the PC and I put triple monitors up, so that I have triple monitors, but they are
I can see them in your glasses, the reflection of the triple monitors. I can see everybody's faces all big.
Look at it.
Look at it. Yeah, there it is.
So each monitor is 29 inches ultra wide. So they're not very tall, but they're very wide. But there's 3 of them. So it makes up 87-inch wide of monitors on my desk. But the chat is so far away in the right-hand corner. I've literally got to lean over to read it. And then OBS is all the way over here. And everybody else is in the middle. It's great. So there you go. Right, so it is time to say goodbye to everybody. So we want to thank Jamie for coming on. You've been an absolute legend this week.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you so
you
much.
guys. Like I said, thank you so much for adjusting to fit my hectic life. I super appreciate that.
Yeah,
I know, we're all human, Jamie. We all have, plans and lives and stuff, so it's all good.
Mostly just a job that requires me to be places. Being an adult has kind of like, I'm over it.
Sucks.
I want to be like, I try to tell my daughter all the time, I'm like, just remember this is pretty good. And then I sit there, I'm like, oh my God, I sound like my mom. Like, I've become my mom, where I'm sitting here, I'm like, you better enjoy these moments, because when you get older, it's not so much fun. And it's like, there are a lot of good moments, but there are definitely moments where I'm just like, oh my God, being an adult, why?
We all want to be kids and just play with toys all day. It's great.
Just play with my toys all day. See, I don't even want to be a kid. I just want to be an adult that doesn't have any responsibilities for like an hour. Just like 1 hour where I can just...
Everybody's like that.
Just give me an hour.
Toys.
And that's why I fly in hula hoops, so that I have those moments where I'm just not a person.
Good God. Right, everybody, thank you for joining us. Big thank you for Jamie for joining us. Because we're going to run massively over time. So it's a goodbye from Malcolm Kels.
Goodbye.
It's a goodbye from Stephen.
Goodbye. See you later.
And it's a massive goodbye from Jamie.
Bye, guys. I hope you guys have a good afternoon or evening for you.
Evening.
So until next week, guys. See you later.
Catch you later.
Bye.
We are gone.